Good afternoon. Welcome. On behalf of the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life at Emory, I want to welcome you to this service of gratitude. It's so nice for me to see you because I think Dr. Santucci invited me into the classroom on what was like your first or second day, and so to see you again as sort of a bookend after you've gone through this experience of learning about the human body. I'm honored to be here and honored to be joined by my friend Maury Allens, our director of music in the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life. And yesterday I was listening to NPR, which is very on brand for me, and they mentioned that it was the 50th anniversary of John Lennon's album Imagine, and I said to Maury, okay, we know what we're starting with for this service of gratitude. So let me turn it over to you, Maury.
Thank you, Jordan. And I'm so honored to be here today. And I hope this song, Imagine, means something to all of you as we all try to bind together and become one in community, as a nation, as a world, as a university, and as students. So hear this. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world would be as one. Be as one. The world would be as one.
Thank you, Mari. So, as I said, I want to welcome you all here. Your presence means so much. My name is Rabbi Jordan Bronig, and I'm the Jewish chaplain at Emory. And I want to just help frame the next 45 minutes that we'll spend together. This has been an extraordinarily unique and challenging past year and a half. You probably didn't need me to tell you that. In the midst of isolation and disappointment and immense grief, you have all pressed on. Coming into the physical therapy program during a pandemic, you have pushed yourself to keep learning and growing, because we've all felt the urge during COVID to just shut down, to cut ourselves off, to withdraw, but you've all done the opposite. In the anatomy lab, you have drawn close and explored the depths of what it is to be human. You've gained new understanding and new appreciation for the human body. You've encountered cadavers and learned from the bodies that were so graciously donated by people whose generosity extended into their death. We gather today because it's important to say thank you, to find the space and the words to offer gratitude for the unique experience you've just been through. The poet Maya Angelou wrote, "Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer." I want to repeat that because it's just such a lovely articulation. Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer. We mark this moment, this ceremony for gratitude, but we have the possibility of making thanks a regular practice in our lives. This call to cultivate gratitude need not be couched in the language of religion. Could there be anything more human than the acknowledgement of thanks? Today you will hear the voices of your fellow students, your faculty, and some members of the spiritual life team. I invite you to be here to acknowledge the feelings that you hold from this year, both the easy ones and the hard ones, and to draw upon the well springs of gratitude that exist within you. The sages of my tradition of Judaism, when they envisioned the world to come, a world beyond this world, they imagined a place where we no longer need to make the ordinary offerings to the divine. They said all offerings will be suspended in the world to come, except for one, the offering of thanksgiving. Even in a world redeemed, a world in which all of the brokenness has been fixed, we will still have the urge and the need to offer gratitude. May we be blessed today with the ability to give voice to that need and to offer our thanks for the significant milestone of having studied the human body and all of its complexity. I am honored to invite two folks who are going to read letters, Dr. Santucci and Gayton Munter, who's representing your class, to offer readings of letters.
All right. Hey, everyone. So for those of you at home who are watching this, my name is Gayton Munter, and I'm the president of the class of 2024. And I was thankfully or graciously elected by all my peers to represent us, and I'm glad to be here. So as many of you know me by now, letters aren't really my thing, so I just want to speak from the heart and really give my thanks to all of the gracious individuals who donated their bodies to science so that we could learn from them to better ourselves after their passing. And, you know, I just remember the first day of lab showing up with everyone feeling dozens of different emotions, excitement being probably the least among them. But we all grew together as a class throughout the summer semester and really got close and learned so much together and by ourselves. And I have nothing but good memories from the summer lab with everyone here. And looking back, I would do it all over again if I could, just to be with you all once more and learn the same things that we did. And there's nothing but appreciation and love in my heart for all of you and all of the people who let us learn from them. And I just would like to finish by this quote that I heard or read a few years ago in a book, that none of us is greater than all of us. And I think that this really represents the spirit of the class, to where we all work so hard together and no one gets left behind. And again, thank you all for being here, and thank you for all of your hard work. And next, I would like to introduce Dr. Jessica Santucci on Zoom. She was our lab instructor and our lecturer over the summer for human anatomy, and she will be reading her own letter.
Hey everybody, I'm so lucky to have had the privilege of leading you all through the wonderful yet often challenging process of becoming anatomy experts. I've enjoyed every second of it, though I know for you students it was often overwhelming. I'm proud of you for working and studying hard and even pretending to laugh at the cheesy jokes and slides I put in my PowerPoints to try to brighten your day. By the end, I'm pretty sure you were sick and tired of my asking you, where did it come from? As annoying as it might have been, I'm positive you'll thank me for it later. Hopefully you will look back on this cadaver dissection experience and remember it as a profound experience on your journey to become a physical therapist. We are here today to reflect on our gratitude and respect for all the participants in Emory's Body Donor Program. Without them, the opportunity that we just had would not have been possible. This service is truly dedicated to those who, in death, have served the living. Each of these donors, by their final compassionate gift, has participated in a great educational endeavor. Each had the courage and the concern for the future that motivated them to become great humanitarians who, by their final wish, have so valuably assisted in our quest to learn the intricate details of the human body and to become musculoskeletal experts. I think we all know how lucky we are to have had this experience, but that doesn't mean we all had an easy time. And we all may come to experience gratitude in different ways. Some of us might not even be at that point yet, still trying to process what we have just been through. For many of us, it was difficult. Others seemed able to breeze through it, either fully appreciating it along the way or perhaps repressing negative emotions as a coping mechanism. Because I think confronting these emotions is so important, I asked you to write 3 important letters to your donor at 3 strategic points throughout the semester, wanting to have a better understanding from you of the various feelings related to the entire experience, from initial fears and anxieties and excitement to how you learn to cope with them throughout the semester, to how you may or may not have arrived at feelings of gratitude by the end. I feel that it is important to recognize that for many, dissection is often difficult with a lot of complicated emotions. The mixture of curiosity, fearfulness, and horror may challenge a student's equilibrium in ways that are unpredictable, but important to understand. From anxiety to defense measures, and from these to resolution and appreciative gratitude is a well-worn path that each student must traverse with support and understanding from faculty and peers. My hope in asking you to articulate your emotions was to help you feel supported by me and our other instructors, and to stimulate discussion among you and your lab partners. The topic of your first letter to your cadaver was straight and to the point. My question was, what are your anxieties about dissecting a human body? I would like to share with you, anonymously, though with your consent to share, some excerpts from your letters. I have anxiety about how hard I will have to push to cut your skin. I'm worried about how many fluids will come from your body and onto myself. I'm also worried you will make me stink long after I've completed the dissection for the day. I'm a little worried I'm going to freak out or cry or otherwise be overwhelmed by my feelings. A few of my fears are about dissecting you incorrectly, not proceeding with the correct amount of caution your body deserves, and smelling like you when I leave. Not having you speak a single word to me definitely freaks me out a little bit. I've been trying to prepare by watching surgery scenes on medical shows. I'll be wondering about all of the hopes, dreams, and memories that once occupied your brain and your heart. What if I somehow get emotionally involved? And what if your body reminds me of someone that I know? On another note, many of you were not anxious per se, but were more worried about the actual dissection technique of making the wrong cut or being overzealous in your use of the scalpel, as evidenced by the following concerns. I'm nervous about making mistakes. There's no eraser in dissection. It worries me to think that I could be making the wrong cut and ruining the dissection for me and my lab partner. Well, I'm guessing that the owners of those comments were not the individuals that I had to threaten with revoking scalpel privileges and continued use of only a blunt probe. In the face of intense anxiety, familiar defenses are often used to manage discomfort. We can count on gallows humor, the naming and humanizing of cadavers to mitigate their deadness, and other unconsciously arranged forms of warding off unwanted feelings and ideas. So halfway through the semester, I asked you all to contribute your thoughts to the following question through your second letter to your cadaver. My question was, what do you notice about how you have managed your anxieties about human dissection? The following were some of your thoughtful words. I found that when I'm focusing on studying and appreciating what I'm looking at, I tend to not ponder much on the fact that I'm dissecting a human. The peppermint oil has helped, but my brain has started to associate peppermint with cadavers, which isn't very helpful. One of my main concerns I had before beginning dissection was that I would completely desensitize myself from the whole experience and forget that you were once living, breathing, thinking, and expressing emotions. While I feel that I have desensitized to some extent, I don't see it as a negative consequence of spending more time with you in the lab. I see it as growth because I am able to both appreciate your life while also not letting that fact distract me from respectfully studying your body. Giving you a name has helped me keep in touch with your humanity and to keep seeing you as a human being rather than an anatomy tool. Sometimes my lab partners and I talk about what we think you did or what your life was like. These things just help me stay grounded. I have taken the time I need to wrap you up carefully at the end of the day, and I have tried to respect you even as I dissect you. I hope that that is enough. I always think about the smile you shared when you were happy, or the hands of friends and loved ones that you held in yours. It feels to me that these parts of your physical body are connected so deeply to the memories and moments you cherished. When a wave of these thoughts washes over me, I am taken out of the exercise of the lab. It is always helpful to think of you telling me across the metaphysical realm, hey, it's okay. This is what I'm here for, and this is what I wanted. Now keep going and learning as much as you can. I promise you, I am fine. Eventually, most students come to recognize that they have participated in a unique experience reserved for a privileged few that is steeped in a special sense of gratitude that is bilateral in nature. It is very likely that body donation has its roots in gratitude that the donors have felt towards healthcare providers. And the students appreciate the transformative inside knowledge that firsthand body dissection alone can provide. It is a hard-won gratitude, hard to communicate, and thus in need of a special circumstance such as this service today. So my final request at the end of the semester was to write a final letter to your cadaver focusing on how you have reached feelings of gratitude. The following are a few of the profound words that I received. I hope wherever you've gone or whoever you come back as, or however this works, that your gift of your body is rewarded on some cosmic level. I am filled with respect and amazement to have had the opportunity to study you on this level. I will remember that studying you is like taking a look inside myself and everyone I work with in the future. Donating one's body for the sake of medical education and training the next generation of doctors is no doubt adding meaning to life and death. Not sure if you knew, but you don't have a plantaris. So thanks, okay. Oops, thanks anyway, though they are pretty useless. I know that one was random, I just thought it was funny. You have taught me things that go beyond anatomy. You have taught me lessons of sacrifice, life, and a means to an end. When something comes to an end, something else comes to a beginning, and your life has come to an end. The legacy you left will span another lifetime through me and my classmates. I want to thank those of you who shared your thoughts and feelings about this very interesting and individual path toward gratitude. My hope in asking you to reflect on your feelings during different stages of the dissection process was to potentially help those of you who were feeling anxious and apprehensive, or to further ignite the fire for those who were more overwhelmed with excitement, to help you realize the ways in which you attempted to cope with a difficult task, and to prompt you to share the various ways in which you are appreciative and grateful for the incredible experience that you just had. You were given a special gift. I think all of you know that. But your acceptance of that gift did not end with your last day of lab. When you draw upon your anatomical understanding to treat your patients, you will be using your donor's gift. It is your responsibility to sustain your donor's generosity by providing your future patients with the best possible care based on your knowledge. This is the gift of a lifetime. Thank you.
We'll now have a little gift of music performed by Elizabeth Vanderbilt.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maddie Henderson, and I am the chaplain for Christian life in the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life. At this time, I want to invite you, as you feel led, to light a candle in honor of your donor. By way of instruction, I invite you to light from the candle I just lit in that tray and try to put it closest to the middle as you can so that people can fill it to the outside. So I invite you to come as you feel led at this time, and while you do so, I'm going to read Eagle Poem by Joy Harja. So feel free to come as you're led. To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. and know there is more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know except in moments steadily growing and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like Eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky and wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like Eagle rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty. When I lit that first candle, I thought of a friend who passed away earlier this summer. And looking at this bowl now, I think of the way that we all impact each other, that you lit your candle from the candle of another, and that is often the way that our lives work. And I even look at it now in the ways that some are melting faster than others, some have fallen over, and yet in all of that, there is light, and that we each produce this light in the world. And so I invite you to reflect on these things as your classmate Anna comes and offers a poem.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the honor of reading the poem on the back of all of your programs. If I mess anything up, don't worry about telling me. This is Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep by Mary Elizabeth Fry. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I did not die.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Maddie. It is a pretty remarkable thing to see the light that's produced by the candles, sort of take them in. Before we end our time together, it felt fitting that we pause for a moment of silence. And it seems to me that sometimes in ceremonies like this, there's this time of quiet and we don't know exactly what to do with it. Are we supposed to pray, just to close our eyes, to wait until the person leading starts to talk again? So I thought that instead of silence without structure, we could close our eyes for a few moments of guided meditation. So I want to invite you, as you're comfortable and able, to place your feet on the floor in front of you. To find a seated position that is upright, but you don't have to be like a Marine, but just you can roll your shoulders a little bit, loosen your neck. If you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. See if you can find the rhythm of your breath. Just bring your awareness to the rising and the falling of your chest. If you want to lengthen that breath a little, you can try to breathe in through your nose with a count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What a gift it is to breathe, even in our masks. I want to invite you to imagine just offering yourself a little bit of gratitude for your body. Just a little thank you for the rising and falling of your chest. And what if you can extend that gratitude outward a little bit to your classmates? Silently offering them thanks for being your fellow travelers, your teachers and friends. And as long as we're giving gratitude, to extend it to the individuals who donated their bodies, to their families, to their communities. What if, like a rock tossed into a lake, the ripples of gratitude can just keep growing out into wider and wider circles? So now that we're grounded a little bit, I want to offer 30 seconds of silence, where you can continue just catching your breath or offering the words of your heart. I invite you to open your eyes now. How remarkable is it that we're always breathing? Like, whether we think about it or not, it's just constantly happening. And you guys could probably teach me so much about like how it happens and how the lungs function. And in a moment, I'm going to offer some words as a closing blessing, and then you are free to make your way quietly out of this room or to linger as you feel called to take in the sight of the candles. I know that I believe that there are cookies and water that have been provided for you. And if you want, you can grab those. And underneath Cannon Chapel, there's like a patio area, and you can feel free to go down there and be together and sit at tables and chat. So I offer this closing blessing. May the source of life grant each of you blessing on your journey. May the lessons that you learned during your course of study in the anatomy lab be a resource that you can draw on during your time as physical therapists. May you recognize the humanity in every person you encounter. When it is difficult, which it undoubtedly will be in moments, may you remember that your greatest intention and greatest goal is to bring healing to those you encounter. Holy One, bless these people with grace and patience and skill to make those they encounter more whole and make the world more whole. May the gratitude that they have offered today be directed back to them many times over. And let us say, Amen. So feel free to sit as long as you're ready, and then when you're ready, you can make your way out and grab a cookie.